right, so it's all set. It's 7 p.m. And if you're tuned into Love Bay Afrobeat Music Radio, then you know that it's time for the voices of the millennials coming to you live right here. And today is Wednesday, another lovely, beautiful evening. And we will be locking ourselves up for the next 50 minutes or so to talk about everything that interests millennials. Yes, because this is the voices of the millennials. Many thanks for joining us, tuning in as you always do. My name is Anna Maria Enisa, your regular host. Tonight, we have a lot to talk about because there's a lot trending, and we would want to dissect into each topic to see exactly what millennials need to be aware of, exactly what is happening around millennials, and just share ideas and thoughts on what we can do best to keep our millennials abreast with the happenings and the many changes that are ongoing. And so, Kemi Famous will be coming through with the Millennial Trends Bulletin, where we'll keep you updated on what is happening in the world of millennials. Welcome, Kemi. How are you doing?
Thank you, Anna Maria. I am very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm excellent. So, take us away with your trends.
Sure. Welcome, everyone, to the news bulletin segment of the Voices of Millennials called the Millennial Trends. As you all know, the Millennial Trends is where we talk about and discuss everything that is trending in the world of millennials. Today, we have a couple updates, trending updates for you. And first, I would like to start with the headlines. Increased focus on eco-friendly products and sustainable living practices amongst millennials. Millennials favoring cryptocurrency investments. Blockchain technology adoption in startups. Crypto wallets usage amongst young investors. Other cryptocurrency news and millennials' involvement in usage. Russell Peters' new stand-up special in Canada, Toronto R&B Sounds concert series, nostalgia tours and cultural events. Now for the news in details. A recent report by the World Trade Travel Organization, rather WTO, released recently in November has highlighted a significant shift in travel preferences amongst millennials who are increasingly opting for eco-friendly travel options. The report indicates that over 60% of millennials are willing to pay more for sustainable travel experiences, reflecting a really strong commitment to minimizing their environmental impact while exploring global tourism in the markets. This growing trend is driven by heightened awareness of climate change and the desire for responsible tourism practices. In another noteworthy study conducted by Market Research Insights, published on November 12, 2024, it was revealed that 10% of millennials aged 24 to 35 are willing to pay between 41 to 50% more for sustainable products. Now, this finding underscores a very significant trend among younger consumers who prioritize sustainability in their purchasing decisions, even at a really higher cost, which is very interesting. The research also shows that 6% of respondents for that research actively were seeking brands that demonstrated, a commitment to environmental responsibilities and, brands that also showcased a notable shift in consumer behavior towards eco-friendly products across various regions, including North America and Europe. Furthermore, there is a survey conducted by YouGov, spelled UYOUGOV, released earlier this month, found that 53% of global respondents intend to minimize food waste, with millennials leading this initiative. This trend reflects a growing recognition of the environmental impacts of food waste and a commitment among young people to adopt a more sustainable practice in their daily lives. The survey highlighted eco-conscious habits such as meal planning, meal preparations, composting, the lack of use or the reduction in use of like plastic bags and other undecompostable items, which are now becoming increasingly popular as a part of broader movement towards sustainable living. Now, to the cryptocurrency investments. A recent survey conducted by CoinMarketCap, published earlier this month, reveals that 68% of millennials are now investing in cryptocurrencies, with Bitcoin and Ethereum being the most popular choices. The report highlights that the demographic rather is attracted to potential high returns and innovative nature of blockchain technology. The survey included responses from over 5,000 millennials across North America and Europe, indicating a very significant shift in investment preferences. This trend is also driven by a desire for financial independence and a growing distrust of traditional banking systems. Interesting. Now, according to another report by TechCrunch, 75% of millennial entrepreneurs are exploring blockchain technologies for their startups. The report emphasizes that these young business leaders are leveraging blockchain for various applications, including supply chain, transparency, and secure transactions. So these are all the things that people are exploring blockchain for. The findings, rather, I beg your pardon, from TechCrunch are based on several interviews with 300 startup founders in the United States. This growing interest in blockchain is attributed to its potential to disrupt traditional business models and enhance operational efficiency. Hopefully, this new trend, would also help scale businesses forward and upward, especially in their financial transactions. On to crypto wallet usage amongst young investors. An article in the Forbes published earlier this month discusses trend of crypto wallets the rising trend of crypto wallet ownership amongst millennials. Now, the article in Forbes states that over 55% of millennials now own a crypto wallet, reflecting a significant increase from previous year. Now, the meaning of this is this year has seen a 55% increase growth from the number of people, millennials specifically, who own crypto wallets. This trend is driven by accessibility of user-friendly platforms and educational resources that simplify the process of investing in cryptocurrencies. The article also highlights that millennials are increasingly viewing cryptocurrencies as a viable alternative to traditional investment vehicles, motivated by the potential for substantial return and the desire for greater control over their financial assets. Now, onto the entertainment sector. On November 20, I beg your pardon, onto the entertainment sector on November 20, 2024, Canadian comedian Russell Peters announced the release of his 10th stand up special titled Act Your Age, which was filmed live in Abu Dhabi. So the stand-up comedian Peter knows for his unique blend of humor. He's known for his unique blend of humor that often actually touches on cultural themes and continues to resonate with audiences, particularly amongst millennials who appreciate his relatable storytelling and comedic style. This special is expected to attract a diverse audience, showcasing Peter's ability to connect with various cultural backgrounds. Still on entertainment, Toronto R&B Sounds Concert series. From November 15th to November 18, 2024, the Toronto R&B Sounds concert series featured emerging and R&B artists from the city. This event highlighted the growing talent within the Black community and provided a platform for local musicians, to showcase their work. The series was well attended by millennials who are increasingly supporting homegrown talent and seeking authentic musical experiences. The intimate setting allowed for a deeper connection between artists and fans, emphasizing the importance of community even in the music scene. Still on entertainment, throughout November 2024, nostalgia tours have gained popularity amongst Black millennials in Canada, with several events celebrating iconic music and culture from the 90s and early 20s. Now, this event, such as For the Culture All Black Edition, was held on November 10th, 2024, at the Aqua Super Club in Toronto. This event also attracted very large crowds who were eager to relive their youth through music and dance. This trend reflects a really broad culture or a broader cultural movement where millennials are embracing their heritage and the influences that have shaped their identities, creating a very vibrant atmosphere for celebration and community. Last news on cryptocurrency and millennials' involvement, in the crypto market. A recent study conducted by eToro, which is for Toronto, published on November 10th, 2024, reveals that millennials are increasingly favoring cryptocurrency investments over traditional stocks. The report indicates that 65% of millennials, forgive the interruption, the report indicates that 65% of millennials surveyed expressed a preference for investing in cryptocurrencies, citing the potential for a higher return and the appeal of decentralized finances. Now, this trend is particularly pronounced amongst younger investors who are drawn to the innovation or the innovative nature block of the blockchain. The study also highlights a very generational shift in investment strategies, with millennials seeking to diversify their portfolios in a rapidly evolving financial landscape. In another very significant report from Monify, it was found that 70% of millennials are actively exploring investment opportunities in blockchain technologies. Now, this report also emphasizes that this demographic is not only interested in cryptocurrencies, but also in the underlying technology that powers them. The findings suggest that millennials are motivated by the potential for disruptive innovation and the promise of new business models enabled by blockchain. This growing interest is reshaping the investment landscape for millennials as more people seek to engage with startups and projects that leverage blockchain for various applications, from finance to supply chain management. So again, the shift into blockchain investment is not only for financial gains alone. We can see from this report from Monify that the reason why a lot of millennials are also shifting their investment portfolios is also for supply chain management sake. Lastly, a 2024 article in Entrepreneur discusses the increasing use of crypto wallets amongst younger investors, again, who are millennials. The article states that over 50% of millennials now own a crypto wallet, reflecting significant change in how the millennials manages their investments. This rise of user friendly platforms and educational resources has made it easy for millennials to enter the cryptocurrency market. The article also highlights that this trend is driven by a desire for financial independence and the potential for substantial returns, as many millennials view cryptocurrencies as a viable alternative to traditional investment vehicles. That's all I have for you on millennial trends today. Do stay tuned for the rest of the show, and I will be handing over back to Anna Maria to continue the show. Thank you. Anna Maria?
Back.
Yes, you're back now. I can hear you.
Yes, we are back. Great. So I was just saying to our listeners that you're not going anywhere because you're staying with me tonight on the Voices of the Millennials, and we are going to talk about everything that you have already spoken about in terms of the news trends. What is an interest to millennials? I see that there was a lot of cryptocurrency news, cryptocurrency trends, and the zeal for millennials to be financially independent. That is why it seems that most millennials are rooting for cryptocurrency now as against the traditional ways of banking.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
What would you be able to know, or have you experienced? I mean, sharing in by way of sharing ideas. Is the cryptocurrency? How interesting is that? How interesting is that? Why do you think that millennials are really going there, apart from the fact that they want to be financially independent?
Yes. So, from the research done and from the news articles from today, we see different research that has been done all over in North America
Yeah.
and in Europe. And majority of the millennials, over 55% of the millennials, actually give different reasons for diversifying into crypto wallets or crypto investments. Now, some of the reasons that they give or are not limited to: number one, the diversification of the crypto wallets; number two, because they have more control over their finances; again, another reason is because they really lost trust in traditional banking, which I can relate actually.
Oh,
And
you can. Traditional banking, you mean the normal savings and investments that the banks offer?
yes, and stock exchange and all of that. And I say I can relate. I do not have a personal relationship or that has gone sour. That would make me want to shift investment from traditional banking into crypto yet.
Yeah.
However, from discussions that I have had with millennials, and older millennials, yes, there are times when they juxtapose the growth of investments or stocks from traditional banking and then juxtapose it with that what they're getting from cryptocurrencies or other forms of investment, tax-free investments. You see, the investments from traditional banking, I believe, are taxed,
Yeah.
heavily. And a lot of people are like, you know what, I would rather, have this money for myself than, just keep it somewhere. And then at the end of the day, majority of this investment is going into bank fees and taxes. And, they aren't really getting so much from it. Again, we're open to get more opinions and feedbacks from the audience. We would love to hear from you
Absolutely.
guys. So, yeah. And another reason that I can say a lot of millennials are going into opening or having crypto wallets would be because they want to have, because of what's it called now, investment portfolios. They want to have different portfolios. They want to be able to invest in Bitcoin, in Ethereum, in, like, different coins, and even NFH, you see. And NFH, if I'm correct, is another, like, trending thing that a lot of young people, including millennials and even the Gen Zs, are going into now. So yeah, there's a lot of reason out there for the shift.
I think that we would need to bring in have time with some financial people to, you
Definitely.
know,
To
give us,
dissect.
yeah, dissect the issue, because cryptocurrency is a growing thing. And I think that if we get more information about it, people would really want to know, the differences and also the risks involved, because I think there are risks involved as well. Even though the traditional banking may not give a lot of interest, or it's becoming a little bit unattractive for the young people. I think that there are risks involved, and there's always like a safe net with the banks as compared to these other stuff that are coming through in terms of investments. But I mean,
Yes,
we,
I
we
agree with
definitely
you.
need, yeah, we definitely do need, we definitely do need some education on that to be able to make informed decisions and lead people to make informed decisions when it comes to these financial decisions. But
Yes,
I
yeah.
also there's the growing desire for millennials to be financially independent, and it's a good thing, is it? It's a very good thing for millennials to desire that, because it's a good training as they enter into the real world, they enter into the real life, and realize that they need to be doing certain things on their own without depending too much on anybody else. And the zeal to be financially independent also kind of like gives a touch of responsibility. What do you think, to the individual?
Yes, I agree with you, especially the importance of being independent. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, before I dive into that, I think I want to also uh, confirm my agreement about, being informing the audience, uh,
Mm-hmm.
bringing an expert into the studio so they can
Mm-hmm.
actually dissect, this topic of investment, and also, encourage people on the benefit and risk of, the different types of investment platforms. So I am in no way a financial advisor. So I do not give
We are both not. Yeah.
yeah. So anyways, majority of millennials are either married, or they're living independently, or, they are like, in that midlife stage where some of them are either having crisis, or they're at that stage where, they've already discovered or not discovered yet the path where they want their lives to go, or their career path to be. So it is really important for millennials, especially in this day and age, to be independent. We see a lot of the not millennials, and I'm talking about the Gen Zs, who are already
Mm-hmm.
independent and doing so much for themselves. So I would be surprised if there is any millennial who is not independent yet and not taking, like, their finances seriously. Please. please do. If you need to seek advice, please go ahead and seek advice.
Mm. So I mean, I'm just looking through some research that has also been done in terms of why there is so much interest, in this cryptocurrencies and this digital, types of transactions or digital currencies and technologies. And I'm finding out that apart from the fact that, I mean, millennials desire to be financially independent, it's
Mm,
also because of the high returns that comes with these currencies. And this has attracted millennials because they are looking for investment opportunities that can actually yield substantial
true.
returns in an environment that has low interest rates, especially the traditional banks. So yeah. And
Mm,
also accessibility of fractional ownership. So it's saying that, I mean, research has said that cryptocurrencies allow for fractional investments, so enabling individuals to start with small amounts. So
mm,
yeah, it's true because in the banks usually you would have to start with some amounts that may be bigger,
mm-hmm.
but cryptocurrencies allows for small amounts.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like easier,
Yes.
especially
It
in
is.
times.
It is
Yeah,
easier, and this has also been able to attract like a lot of
yeah,
people. It has attracted a lot of traction. And another thing about ownership that you mentioned is the banks, the traditional form of investment.
yeah.
Yes, it's your money, but like they own it, right? Because it's
Mm-hmm,
there with them.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
You don't know what's going on. You can't like, unlike, I guess, crypto, where you can track your records, you can see, how your money is growing or reducing, right? Because like for every benefit, there's also
Yes,
like, there's something that's not so beneficial. For every good stuff, there's also like, something hidden. But yeah, crypto allows you to do that. You can track, you can withdraw when you want to. Traditional banking might have like a contract where you sign for like a specific period of time. So like even if anything happens, there's an emergency, if you don't have emergency funds elsewhere, you know you can't withdraw. If you're withdrawing, you're like paying extra, or like paying for whatever services or something. Again, I am no
yeah,
financial advisor. These are just things I have heard from other people, from the experiences that they've experienced, with
yeah.
traditional banking that I'm sharing.
Yeah. Also, millennials have experienced economic downturns and they've seen financial crisis happening economically. So they see cryptocurrency or they see such digital technologies in terms of digital currencies as a hedge against traditional market volatility and inflation. So when there's inflation in the economy, it doesn't affect something like cryptocurrency. So it's like it's a win for them. That's how they see it, because if anything should happen on the economic landscape,
Mm-hmm.
it will affect traditional banks, but it doesn't affect digital currencies like the crypto stuff. But like you're
Hmm.
saying, definitely, exactly, yeah. So if we
Because
could have economists, economic analysts, they will be able to tell us
Mhm,
further how such um, such issues like how the market's volatility inflation does not affect crypto, but then it
mhm.
affects like banks and all of that. Yeah, so
Yes,
smart
yes,
millennials always know the market. They are always in there because they understand these things and they are always on top of their game, so they realize that okay, there's an advantage here over that, and they would always go with the
do
advantage.
yes.
Also, lastly, the influence of social media. I mean, success stories about cryptocurrencies that other people have experienced
Mm-hmm.
also is drawing the attention of young
Yes,
people to not miss out on these opportunities and give it a shot.
I
Tell
agree
you
with
what,
you.
tell
And
you what, I. Mhm.
let's even talk about like the impact that influencers or supposed influencers also play
Yeah.
in this, right? People who are popular on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, on all of these social media platforms, and like they take advertisement contracts, and then they're talking about these things. So like whether they're doing it or not, they're also like bringing highlighting and then bringing attention to it. And the best place, or like the place where you can get trends the most, is on social media, on new media.
Yeah.
So
So absolutely, that's how all the marketing is coming from, and that is what is attracting everybody. So I mean, if you're just tuning in, we are talking about the reason why you would think that millennials are choosing cryptocurrencies, digital currencies, as against traditional media. That is what it is. I mean, millennials are always looking for good investments and things that will help them make life easier for them. So that is the reason why we like this as against the traditional form of banking. Also, so on
do you like it?
I do. I do
Okay.
actually. I have an experience. I did that back home in Ghana, in Africa. There
Really?
was
Tell
there
me
was
about it.
gold. It wasn't cryptocurrency then, but then it was gold buying. It was sort of like a gold buying investment, and it was a different type of investment that
Mm-hmm.
was easier to do. You just buy the gold, they convert it into cash for you, and then deposit it, and
Oh.
you get interest every month. So people were, I mean, young individuals like us were moving away from traditional banks to
Mm.
do that kind of investment. And well, I did for a period that took me through school. Yes, it was okay. But then the second time I tried to do it, it went south and my money got squandered.
Discipline.
So that's the risk. That's the risk that number one. Thank you. Listeners joining in, some of them from Ghana know. Yeah, number one. Thank
Yeah.
you. So, yes. Yes. So there are risks to everything. You would want to, yeah, give it a try, because if you don't
Definitely.
try, you will not get the experience. You'll never know. But
Mm.
then you know that there are risks involved. Definitely, definitely. The banks will not disappoint, but some of these things will definitely, definitely disappoint.
Yes,
All right.
because
So,
it's
mhm.
structured. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, yes. So, as part of the news bulletin, we're also talking about so away from cryptocurrency, we're now talking about increased focus on eco-friendly products and sustainable living practices amongst millennials. Absolutely, absolutely. Sustainable living. To me, Kemi, sustainable living is like making the choice to reduce environmental impact, right? Like
Yes,
using less energy, avoiding waste, and supporting eco-friendly products. I
yes.
think that millennials are doing that a lot. Millennials are very interested in sustainable living.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I think that it's the way that it should go. I mean, because from where we are heading, it's very important to try to avoid waste and use less energy anyway to make life easier. And there's a lot of ways that you can do that. For example, using reusable plastics. You see millennials today, they're always having a reusable cap, as
Yes,
against having to use a plastic that you have to throw away, and then you keep throwing and keep creating garbage in the environment and all of that. We see a lot of that in our part of the world, but I think that sustainable eco-friendly products are very accessible around here. And what do you think?
yes. It is very popular around here, especially with the reusable plastics that you mentioned. Sometimes, I mean, a lot of people have gone away from plastics because, of course, plastic is not compostable, and it hurts the environment also. So people are not going into environmental friendly materials. For example, if you go to the store, if you go to the grocery store, they no longer give you like the plastic bags anymore. They give you the reusable bags, that is very, eco-friendly and environmental friendly. And I mean, you can reuse them on like plastic bags where, you use once or twice and then, you dispose. It hurts the environment. And Anna Maria, let's talk about the people that actually spend more, doing this. I mean, I am pro keep the environment safe and pro eco-friendly. But I'll give you an example. There was one time I was supposed to make a trip, and then I saw like I'd already booked my flight and everything. And then I saw an email upgrade to eco-friendly travel, and they were kind of advertising eco-friendly travel. And I'm like, oh yes, eco-friendly, yes, definitely, I want to do this. But when I saw the charges at the end, I'm like, I love my environment. I love the environment. I want to keep, nature clean. I want to ensure that I'm doing the best. I'm involving myself in the best practices for, the environment. But right now, then, right now, so the amount, how costly it is. However, personally, when I can afford it, I don't mind. And so do other people when they can afford it, they don't mind. However,
Absolutely.
what about the people who cannot afford it?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I guess we will be advocating for initiatives that promote sustainability practices and look at how to make it affordable for everybody. I don't know if you've come across any initiatives that are geared towards sustainability, like community initiatives or
Yeah.
projects. But I think that Love Bay is actually a good platform to be able to advocate for such initiatives to be done in community, and especially talking about how affordable it should be, so that millennials can drive the change. We are always at the forefront of projects that drive change, and this is one of the changes that is actually very important to be a part of. I think amongst all the generations, millennials are the ones that are most aware of sustainability, in terms of talks about climate change on social media, and trying to translate it into action. So I think that, yeah, we need to advocate for projects, community projects that drive sustainability, and advocate for making it more affordable to
Yes. Yes.
everybody to be able to make it a sustainable project as well.
And there are actually lots of projects, going on here in Toronto, in Canada, in North America, in the US, in Europe, a lot of projects like that. However, um, I believe that, more visibility can be brought, to majority of this project. Some of these projects are things that we've also spoken on Love Bay Radio during the news bulletin, Millennial Trends newscast. So, we've been able to talk about this project. For the audience who missed it, if you missed any of it, you can go back to previous Love Bay Voices of the Millennial broadcast from September. In September, and I think beginning of October, we spoke a lot about, some of these projects, climate change, eco-friendly sustainability actions that a lot of people were engaging in. So yeah, I advise that you go back and then, rewatch and learn.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just by way of research, I'm looking at what small practices that we can do to live more sustainably. And I'm seeing something like supporting local farmers markets.
Yeah.
That is a way to live more sustainably. I see composting, composting, and I also see carpooling, carpooling can make a big difference. Interesting.
Yes.
And also digital apps or tools that can help with sustainable living. I'm seeing an app like Too Good to Go for food waste, and
Mm-hmm.
then local recycling guides are also very helpful when it comes to taking cues or notes on sustainable living. All right, that's
Yes,
good.
that's amazing.
Um,
And
it's
even
also essential.
growing your own vegetables. Sorry about that. Even growing your own vegetables, when you can during the summer, having like, people do it. They have like this like really cute little garden by their house where, they grow like their own vegetables and, fruits as much as they can. It really helps the environment too, because again, you're tilling the soil and it's releasing the things that needs to be released in the environment. So yeah, we also need to definitely support the local farmers. They need support, like that cannot be I think the kind of support that the farmers need is underemphasized because again, they're responsible for what we eat. So if we're not taking care of the environment, and then that's where like majority of what we eat come from. And I say majority because right now there is like another way of like, producing, some of what we eat that doesn't come from the soil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so but I mean majority of what I eat, I'll speak for myself. Majority of what I eat is like fresh produce. So if the environment is not taken care of, then I mean our food is also polluted, and if the food is polluted, we're taking it in, our bodies are polluted, see.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. True. Also, the role of public transportation on promoting sustainability, it's research has said that it's essential. If people would use more public transit or bicycles, for examples, um, in the cities, there'll be less traffic and less pollution.
uh,
So you don't feel like you agree to this point.
Uh, with the state of the current transportation, and I'm speaking for Toronto right now. In
Mm-hmm.
Toronto, mm-mm-mm, mm-mm. I think if public transportation can be worked on, if it can get better, and more intentionality is put into the public transportation system to actually serve the people. So like majority of like the institutions in charge of transportations, go beyond seeing the transportation as like a thriving business, but as a service to the people, then yes, that will work. Because again, people will not be stuck on the trains or like in the buses or like, like getting
So
late at
people would,
work
yeah,
and
people would,
stuff. Yeah.
people will not will feel better taking public transport as compared to riding their
To
cars,
riding their own cars
because
because of the
yeah,
ease of public
yeah.
transportation. But if you're not giving them that ease, if they're not getting that ease, then they would go back to riding their own cars. But there are, like, eco-friendly vehicles, electric cars, which doesn't
Mm-hmm.
emit, fumes or like dangerous, you know, things in the atmosphere. So again, you gotta have the money.
Mm-hmm. I think that education also plays, whether formal or informal, education also plays a very important role um, in advocating for sustainable living, right?
Yes, it does. Education does. Information.
Yeah.
Mm.
It will help people to make, choices that are impactful,
Yes.
letting them know about, recycling, conserving water, and it will inspire people, to act right. So education is definitely, definitely, definitely key. What would you think, or what do you have hope for sustainability in the future? I mean, as compared to the fact that you are even talking about transportation and the fact that transportation is not even public transportation is not even attractive. But for the future, do you foresee that uh, we will make better choices to be able to promote sustainability?
Most definitely, Anna Maria. In fact, for the now, from all the changes that we see, eco-friendly options, travel options, eco-friendly food options, eco-friendly shopping options, eco-friendly products, even manufacturers and brands are now going eco-friendly. They're giving all of these options already. So I do believe in the now, and my hope for the future, is even higher, right? If all of the institutions in charge, all manufacturers, all everyone who has something to give, either a product or a service that affects the environment in one way or the other, if they can actually, add their own quota to it, I think the discussion that we'll be having about the environment and sustainability would shift from, oh, we should do this, or let's do this, to, oh, this is how far we have come, you know oh, this was never in place before, but efforts from this, efforts from that come together. Our environment is better. We're getting better products. We're getting, fresher air to breathe, you know, cleaner oxygen.
Right. So wrapping up on this on November, I mean we are on the 20th, so we just have like 10 more days, you know.
So Christmas.
November has really been a very, very interesting month. The concerts have been a lot. You were talking about the Toronto R&B Sound concert series, and there was also some tours and cultural events. So
Yeah.
November was really packed, was really fun, and I know of the Taylor Swift concert that also
Yes.
happened. It was all over the town.
It was
Toronto was
packed.
shut down. Were
Hmm.
you in attendance?
So I had an opportunity to attend. However, when I got to the Bay Area, I was about a couple meters of it away from like the Rogers Center, and I saw the crowd, and I'm like, Taylor Swift, I love you, but I'm not doing this to myself. I'm sorry.
But how was the how was the crowd going to affect the fun?
There was nowhere to walk. You want to go to the center? The whole crowd were going there. It was
Yeah,
packed. It was jam packed,
it was
and I
really
was scared.
packed.
Yes, it was packed, and I was really scared because for some reason it was the first day. Now Taylor Swift has 4 different dates for a tour in Toronto alone. So for some reason, I was just expecting, people not to really turn up on the first day, probably towards like the third or second or like fourth last day would be like the bigger one. So I decided intentionally to attend the first day, right? But I got there, I was shocked. I was shocked. And I'm like, okay. Funny enough, I saw some other people, who felt the same way. They're like, oh my goodness, they got the tickets. They just can't deal with the crowd at this time, right? Because of the difficulty of going in or even coming out when you need to do something or whatever. So we just went somewhere. We were kind of like listening to the music where we were seated, and we were having our own fun there. So it was like we were a part of the concert. We weren't on the ground, but we were like somewhere else, which wasn't too far from the place, and we were getting, still enjoying all the vibes and all that. So like I still felt like a part of it, you know. That's how much I love Taylor Swift.
And it ended there. Well, listeners, thank you so much for making November really, really exciting. The millennials were really, really excited. I mean, it was all over, and it's been an exciting month. I mean, from the start to finishing it. And guess what? We have even more fun for you for the month of December. December is already a beautiful time. It's already an exciting month, but just virtue of the name December. And here at Love Bay, we even make it more exciting because we think about community, we think about happiness, we think about putting smiles on the faces of young people and individuals at large. So we'll invite DJ John to join us right here on the Voices of the Millennials. And she will be telling us what Love Bay has in store for Toronto, the community Toronto. Yeah, for us this December. So if DJ Jan is on the platform with us now,
A
would
round of
like
applause as she
to
comes.
would like to invite you and welcome you on the Voices of the Millennials tonight. Hi, DJ Jan. Okay, so she's not here yet, but she'll be
Okay,
walking in
I think she
soon.
needs more
She'll be walking
motivation.
in style. She will definitely come on, and we just want to know exactly what is lined up for us in December, because I know that there's going to be a third annual
Amazing.
children's gift giving event. So this is the
Mm.
third time Love Bay is organizing something like that, and she has all the information that we need to know about that. And that is like one event all in December. Then there's another event, where we will be going to the wider Toronto, to put
Mm-hmm.
smiles on people's
On
faces.
people's faces and
We
reaching out to
call it the
people.
Love Bay Meet and Treat. We call it the Love Bay Meet and Treat. And then for the children, it's the Children Love Bay Children's Giving gift giving event, and it's all happening in December, and we are so excited. Everything
I
is
am here.
already,
It is great.
put together. DJ John is right here. Welcome to the Voices of the Millennials.
It's great to be on with the Millennials. What a great show.
You're
I
welcome.
truly enjoyed the sustainability conversation. And what I would say is that we all need to live a sustainable lifestyle. I do.
Yeah,
So
right.
I want to talk
So
about,
tell
thank
us
you.
what is happening, yeah, in December. Mm-hmm.
Well, December is a crucial month for the Love Bay family. There's a couple of things we do. This is our third annual children gift giving event. This event is happening on December 7th. So I would say to our listeners in the GTA, Brampton, Mississauga, surrounding areas, you can register your child from 1 to 16. Children must be registered because they will be getting a gift. It's really a Christmas party. It is a party. So you
Mm-hmm.
bring your children along, you get a gift, you have fun, there's games. It's always exciting to see the children, especially the younger ones, walk up to Santa Claus just to get that gift and to tell Santa what they want. It is always exciting, and it's a fun time. So I would say to our listeners, this is where we give back to our community. It is going to be in Brampton, but if you need more information on the children gift giving event, reach out to us at Love the Radio. You can call us at 437-778-3299. Again, your children must be registered. Reason for that is the gifts are bought based on the names we do get in. So if your child and you show up, there may or may not be a gift, so it's very imperative that everyone register their child. What we need is the age and the gender. So again, it's on December 7th, so reach out to us at 437-778-3299, or send us an email at lovebayradio1@gmail.com. So I'm going to go slowly on that. It's LUVBAYRADIO 1 at gmail.com. Now that is on December 7th. On December 25th, on Christmas Day, Again, our third annual Team Love Big goes downtown Toronto, and we give a gift back to the homeless. Now we understand we can't solve all the problems, but it's a labor of love. We go downtown with a gift bag for the homeless. In that bag, we have a blanket, we have mitts, we've got socks, and most importantly, it's a gift card from Tim Hortons. On a cold Christmas day, they deserve a treat. And so each person is given a gift card in that bag. It's a beautiful bag, well decorated, and a lot of people really appreciate this. Now, there are listeners and donors that donate to this event. If you'd like to donate to feed the homeless on Christmas Day, again, reach out to us at 437-778-3299. If you'd like to join us in walking and treating the homeless, again, the number 437-778-3299. We look forward to hearing from you and possibly seeing you. Thank you, Anna Maria.
You're most welcome, DJ Jan. Thank you for the information. So, as you heard it, you need to register to be able to have the gift for your kids. And we will definitely see you in Toronto on Christmas Day to put a smile on your face like we always do. It's a wrap
Definitely.
on the Voices of the Millennials. Many thanks for joining me, Kemi Famous, tonight. It was a good conversation on all the trends that millennials need to be abreast of. Thank you, listeners, for always joining us on Wednesdays for the Voices of the Millennials. We hope that you enjoy the show. My name is Anna Maria Emisa, and we will come your way next week, same time, to talk about something that definitely interests you as a millennial.
Very
Many
interesting.
thanks for joining me. Have a good night. Have a good
Have a
night,
great
Kemi.
night. I remain Kemi Famous, and I will see you next week. Stay tuned for the rest of the program on Love Bay Radio.